In today's session, we'll be looking how to build a user flow diagram. So in the previous session, we have chosen a solution from the list of solution. We have prioritized one. So here, for that, I am considering the example of a chosen solution as booking platforms. Now let's look into how to build user flow diagrams. So what is a user flow diagram? The user flow diagram looks like this. It's a visual representation of what all tasks or the steps that the user needs to take to achieve their goal. So this is the screen name and this is the task the user does. So from dashboard, go to my bookings. This is the action the user does, and there is the my booking list. So that's what a user flow diagram is. It's a step-by-step representation of the user's action to achieve a goal. So why is user flow used? So user flow helps us to map the different screens that will be coming. So this helps in understanding the logic and the navigation and helps in making better the user experience. Then when we are listing out the user flow, we can understand and identify if there is any friction at any point in that flow or the pain points or difficulties that the user may arise when they are going through the flow. This also helps in easily communicating with the team about the journey of the user. Then user flow diagrams also helps us map out the screens, core screens, and all the screens that will possibly come in the journey or the solution that we are building. And when to use user flow. So mostly user flows are created during the initial phase of the design, like in the ideation phase. It can also be used to like understand how the new features are working in that existing system. It is also used for testing, like with the other participants or the stakeholders, walking them through the flow and figuring out things. Then outcome from a user flow. It makes sure that the flow of the for the user or journey for the user is smooth. So it helps us reduce cost. Like first, in the early stage, we are planning things, mapping out things, so we don't be facing any issues when once we start creating the screens. So it prevents any errors or any issues that may arise in future. Then it helps in conversion, like we make sure that everything goes well. So that also again works on helps the user experience aspect. Now, what's the difference between user flow, user journeys, and task flow? User flows are more focused on the users flow or users task or the task that the user does for a particular goal. And when compared to journey mapping, as we saw in the previous sessions, journey mapping considers the broader picture rather than just a task that the user needs to do. It takes the a picture of a broader solution, like from the start to end point. It can comprise the ecosystem that the user is on. It's not just limited to the screen's interaction. Then task flows are a slightly different thing. Here is things are done in the perspective, not in the perspective of the user. Here now in the user flow, it's done in the perspective of the user. But in case of task flow, it will be just the task that needs to be done. Like from dashboard, I click on my booking list, then the booking details screen. So if it's more like the screens and the task that needs to be done to reach from one point to another. That's what is task flow. Now, when we are creating a user flow diagram, there are few things that we use like the legends. It's called legends or key components. Actions. Here we have used actions as circle. It depends. Like whatever shapes we are using, you just have to mention that. In this example, actions are mentioned as squares, decisions as diamond, then process start or end as the shape and the connectors. So it depends. Like whatever you are mentioning, it you can use it accordingly. Then how to create a user flow diagram. First, you have to mention the objective and the scenario. Basically, you have to mention what is the goal, user goal that you are trying to solve for. Then outline the different steps involved. Before starting building this or mapping out the user flow diagram, you can simply write down what all are the different steps that the user might take. Now, once you have an idea of the number of the total steps, you can start mapping out it as a user flow diagram. Then a review and iterate like try going through the flow again, check if any changes are required. You can take to another or get it reviewed by other stakeholders, or you can self review it, and then make sure the flow is end to end complete. Now, the best practices, these are some simple things that you can go through. That it should be a descriptive name, like the name of the user flow should be saying what the flow describes about. Then one directional flow, then one goal per flow. It's better that we have one goal for a goal per flow. Then always have a legend. It's better that we keep this legend on one side of the user flow so that anyone going through that can easily understand what each of the shapes determines. Then clear labels, use colors wisely, provide a clear resolution. These things are fine. Now let's go back and see here why we need a feature list is because before we start figuring out what all are the different, so we want to figure out what all are the different screens. So we are first building a user flow diagram which maps out the flow the user takes. From that we can understand the different screens that will be coming in the product. This identifying the core screens will help us in estimating how much time we should be spending, what all things needs to be done in each of the screens. Those kinds of estimation and planning can be further done once we have an idea of the core screens that will be coming. How to create a feature list? First, as I mentioned, we have to define the user goal for the user flow that we are building. Here I have taken the user goals. This is an example. I want to view the booking made by me. So I want to see the my bookings in the product. So the steps that might be coming will be like navigate to the booking session from the dashboard. Let's say from the dashboard, they first I should be navigating to the booking session. Then a booking section will be having a list of bookings. So view all the list of bookings. I will be scanning through. That's the second step. And okay, now I see the booking which I am looking for. So I click on the view, click and view the desired booking details. So so these are the different steps that I have noted down. Now that this I am converting these into a user flow diagram, you can use FigJam for documenting that or creating the user flow. So if we see here from the dashboard, go to my bookings. That's what the user does. My bookings list. When they do this, they'll reach the my booking list. Select a booking to see status, details, payment links. So they does this action and they see the booking details of a particular thing. And now if they want the next action the user might want to do is download or preview the invoice. So they do that and now they see the invoice. So this is the basic user flow diagram. You can create a user flow diagram based on the goal that you have considered. Now the task for this session is create user flow diagram and map out the core screens. Here we can see the core screens are dashboard, my bookings list, booking details page, invoice details page. Okay, so that's all for today's session. Thank you.